Hi, my name is Ashlyn, and I am debating in favor of the legalization of marijuana in Indiana. What is marijuana? Marijuana is a substance that people may use to alleviate symptoms such as tremors, anxiousness, and pain. It has also been used to treat seizures in children, Parkinson's disease, and as a substitute for opiates in patients with chronic pain. Some people may also use it as a recreational activity. Just like people go out to bars and drink, people may also get together and smoke marijuana. Some people feel like it can spark their creativity. It goes by many names, including pot, weed, herb, bud, grass, or Mary Jane. Marijuana can be smoked in a rolled cigarette called a joint. It could also be smoked in something called a bong, or sometimes people may bake it in food to eat, and this is called edibles. The chemical in marijuana that causes this euphoric-like feeling is THC. The chemical is found in resin produced by leaves and buds, primarily of the female cannabis plant. So the opposition. Many feel like that marijuana is a gateway drug, meaning that once a person crosses that bridge of using marijuana, even for the first time, the only natural next step is to try harder drugs until eventually the person is shooting up heroin or living a life of addiction. By saying yes to marijuana, people will believe that people will find it easier to say yes to other drugs that may be more addictive with less of these medical benefits that marijuana has. There's also a misconception that people who use marijuana can have a lack of judgment. This is a concern that marijuana users may have slow or delayed reaction times. While this may be true, the effects that alcohol has on the brain is nothing in comparison. Alcohol can inhibit people's judgment as well as their vision while delaying reaction times as well. And that's legal. So no matter what substance that is used, no person should be driving under the influence. And although it is said not to be addictive, people are concerned that marijuana can be addictive to people who regularly use the drug. In our normal lives, there are dangerous addictions that people have every day, such as caffeine, tobacco, alcohol, pain relievers, and even sleeping pills. Every one of these addictions are legal except for marijuana. So where do we draw the line on which are prohibited? Another possible reason that people are opposed to marijuana being legalized is the effects that it could have on a person's health. Non-users are afraid that if it's legal, that users could equate that to the fact that it is harmless. While smoking marijuana can cause harm to the lungs, there is no evidence that it is any worse than smoking tobacco. And I've actually found on several websites that it could actually be helpful to the lungs, but those aren't really proven either. But with marijuana, there are other ways to use it while gaining the same benefits, like ingesting it. With every medication, there are side effects that could happen. You always see on TV a long list of side effects. But when do the benefits outweigh the harm? So, for example, like a basic Tylenol could harm your liver, or an ibuprofen can cause one's stomach to bleed. Those are legal. There has been an alcohol prohibition that lasted just 13 years. The prohibition ended because of the unintended consequences from making alcohol illegal, such as organized crime, the increased use of hard alcohol, and the government waste of alcohol. Alcohol being legal now is taxed heavily and is a great source of government income. Marijuana is considered to be safer than alcohol, but yet it is still prohibited. By prohibiting marijuana, the seller of the product is unregulated, meaning they could be putting any harmful chemicals or lacing it with harmful drugs and the user would be unaware. Also, by prohibiting marijuana, it can make the rebellious teens want to try it that much more, just as in alcohol. With marijuana, there is virtually no chance of overdosing. There are no recorded deaths that are directly linked to marijuana. When people consume too much, it is possible to have a reaction, but it is usually something that water and a little sleep can fix. As far as reactions, the most common are overeating, anxiousness, and paranoia. Compared to other medications, these reactions are rather tame and easy to treat. Marijuana can also be used to treat illnesses. Marijuana is commonly used to help alleviate pain. This is very helpful when someone has chronic pain. You can substitute harder drugs like opiates that are commonly prescribed, and way more addictive than marijuana. Marijuana is not addictive and is not as harmful as these other drugs. There are many conditions that marijuana can treat, such as Alzheimer's disease, appetite loss, seizures, cancer, Crohn's, epilepsy, glaucoma, multiple sclerosis, and nausea, just to name a few. Anxiety can be debilitating for people who suffer from it. Many of the drugs used to treat anxiety can cause weight gain and also become addicting. Some people who suffer from anxiety will choose to use marijuana to help alleviate. This is more natural with less side effects. Marijuana can also be used for other mental illnesses such as schizophrenia and for people who suffer from OCD. Many modern doctors will prescribe marijuana to patients undergoing chemotherapy to help with the side effects such as nausea, weight loss, and pain. Government taxation. Colorado, Massachusetts, Alaska, District of Columbia, Oregon, Washington, California, Maine, Nevada, Michigan, Illinois, New Jersey, Vermont, Arizona, Montana, and South Dakota have all chosen to legalize marijuana. The first state to legalize marijuana in 2012 was Colorado. Since the legalization and regulation of marijuana in just 8 short years, the state has generated almost $8 billion in cannabis sales alone, benefiting every sector of their government branches. Nevada was ranked 50th countrywide in regards to their school systems. However, the millions of dollars they have generated in the past 3 years since legalization has gone towards improving their school system, which better can improve their ranking. The taxation on marijuana and marijuana products can benefit a state in a multitude of ways. Each state can determine what this money can go towards according to their needs. Indiana could benefit from this additional revenue by putting it towards the roadways, better pay for teachers, and state parks, which can increase residents to live a healthier lifestyle. In turn, this will overall lead to increased happiness and lifespan of all residents, which could lower hospitalizations, while also lowering Medicare costs for the state. In closing, the benefits of legalizing marijuana in Indiana outweigh the benefits of the prohibition. Indiana has much to gain from the legalization of marijuana, which has been shown by the states I mentioned earlier who have already taken this step. Thank you.